Hello everyone, this is DJS, coach of the Tentacruit Pirates, and welcome to a new draft league which is gonna be the EDC Ignite Division. So if you don't know, EDC is the everyone draft community which is like a pretty prominent showdown league, but recently they have made a Wi-Fi division and I have been invited to play there. So yeah, so this is gonna be our draft analysis video for the division, but first thing first, I don't like doing draft analysis a lot because like it's just talking about mons that most people already know. So I decided to switch things up a bit. So I made my team being analyzed by ChatGPT. So I'm gonna say why mons I picked, and I'm gonna read out what ChatGPT has thinks about these mons, and finally what it thinks about my overall team. Okay, so first thing first, they have unbanned Dialga Origin for this division, and like if you know, it's always gonna be first pick, which we were not, so we didn't get Dialga Origin, but we were pick fourth, so we were able to grab some good mons. Then the one I chose was Ogarpon Wellspring, which is also one of our Terra mons. So only reason I chose Ugarpon is because I've been wanting to use like one of the Terra Ugarpons in Wi-Fi for quite a bit. I like the Terra animations that Ugarpon has, but like most of the leagues I played, all the Ugarpon forms have been Terra banned. So yeah, this is the first chance I got, so I took it. And according to ChatGPT, it's a very versatile with a strong offensive presence and the ability to terrestrialize, making it unpredictable and adaptable. I don't know how Garpon is gonna be unpredictable. It's always gonna terra water and fire off those Ivy Gudges. Only unpredictability is gonna be is it running Hornwich or Power Whip. But yeah, and its strengths according to ChatGPT is it can become a potent sweeper or a bulky pivot depending on the terra type chosen. Okay, so it doesn't know how Ugarpon terrestrialize, I guess, because it thinks I can terra into different types. But like yeah, as you know, Ugarpon is just gonna be a strong offensive mon, just terra water and fire off those Ivy cudgels and get some good damage on. So the next mon I chose was Garchomp. The Garchomp did manage to come back all the way down to me after like the wheel. So yeah, I got Garchomp. Felt good mon to pick late round 2. And according to ChatGPT, it's a physical sweeper with great speed and attack and can also function as a stealth truck setter. Yeah, I mean those are fine, but like speed of Garchomp is like fine, but now it's like also not the fastest. And its strength is it's had excellent offensive pressure and good bulk. Okay, that's fine, I guess. So yeah, so next one I picked was I decided to use Cliffable because I haven't used Cliffable this gen after it came out, so I just grabbed it and see how it turns out to be. Also makes me not face Cliffable at least once league because I do really hate facing these mons. And according to ChatGPT, it's a special wall, cleric, and support Pokemon with access to move like Wish, Heal Bell, and Stealth Rock. Well, Heal Bell and its cleric abilities is gone now since Heal Bell is like cut from everything. And I mean, it can act as both physical and special wall depending on what you want, but just a special wall is being a bit too narrow. And strengths are apparently versatile and bulky with magic guard providing immunity to status and residual damage. Can't argue with that one. So for the next pick, I wanted a steel type and also wanted some special attacking power since I have a very too strong special or physical attacker. So I decided to grab Heatran. I was like early the gen, I was like a bit disappointed on Heatran since like it lost eruption, which is was like two of the best it can use in Sword and Shield, where I would say was it Citran was at its best, but now it run like Eruption or Toxic. I used it in another league recently and I found out it's still pretty good. especially like those 135 fire special attack boost fire blast are very strong. Magma storm is very good in like trapping certain mons to clean up with your other mons. And yeah, it's still pretty bulky. So yeah, I just found Hitran was available and I decided to grab it. And according to ChatGPT, it's a good special attacker, stealth rock setter, and defensive pivot. I don't know how it thinks it's a pivot because it has like no recovery moves, not even regenerator or any pivoting moves. But well, I guess it's a defensive pivot. And its strengths are apparently great resistances and special attack and can trap with magma storm. So yeah, more or less like what I wanted, like a some strong special attacker and like ability to trap certain mons and kill them for some of my other mons. The next mon I picked was the Overquill. So Overquill is here mainly to get rid of some of the hazard pressure out of card jump. So I get a spiker, also a T spiker, also gives me a toxic grounded mon to absorb those T spikes. Intimidate is also very handy and the typing is also pretty good. Especially since like Ogre Pawn hardly discourages all ground types. So yeah, felt like a very good mon. And according to ChatGPT, it's a physical attacker with potential toxic spike setter, doesn't mention spikes, I guess, and good typing for absorbing T spikes and hitting hard with stab moves. I mean, it's like doesn't hit the hardest with its stabs moves. Don't know why it wants that as its strength, but well, I guess it hits very hard with its stab moves. Next one I grabbed was Kilotrell. That's because I wanted some speed on the team and like 125 and after Ogarpon 110 this is like a pretty good range of speed for me. So yeah, I mean it's like a discount Zapdos has good moves, pivoting rules, doesn't get defog like Zapdos this gen. And yeah, can like use good in like weather teams since it does get weather ball and hurricane and stuff. So yeah, should be a good one for the team. And according to ChatGPT, it's a special attacker and pivot, potential defog user. I don't know why it thinks it's a defog user since like it doesn't have any defog. But yeah, and it has apparently great speed and decent special attack, useful for volt turn strategies. I mean, yes, it's good for volt turn strategies. But yeah, so after that, I wanted to get some removal since like I have a lot of hazard mons, but I do need some removal unless it gets has tagged on my side. And unfortunately, I couldn't get any spin, so I decided to grab a defogger for first, which is gonna be Decidueye. So it does get defog this gen, and also like it's also grass type and a ground immunity since like Ogarpon is just gonna tear water most games and get rid of its immunity. So there's that is not the bulkiest, but it still has roost and has like a decent typing and good special defense. So it can like, take some hits. And according to ChatGPT, it's a mixed attacker, support, and defog user. I mean, yeah, it's a mixed attacker, and at least it got it right that it is a defog user. But like support, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't get wisp. Only support moves it cases like U-turn and like I don't know rush, defog. And yeah, strength is apparently versatile move pool and good utility options like Spirit Shackle and Defog. So I don't know how Spirit Shackle is like a utility move and what it means by versatile move pool. It's only moves are like Grass, Ghost, and it gets some flying type coverage. And then yeah, but yeah, it is what ChatGPT says, I guess. But next up, I grabbed Garter. So I wanted, I think, Hitmontop because that does give me a rapid spin option, but Hitmontop got taken, and like for point stuff, I had to pick up Garter instead. So Garter is pretty bulky with the Eviolite, like not on the special side, but on the physical side, very good at least, and gives me like and some another Defogmon in case I have a very bad matchup with Decidueye, but I doubt I'm gonna run in Garter, even Defog Garter games this season, but I get least I have it as an option. And uh, according to the ChatGPT, physical tank and setup sweeper with bulk up. I mean, it's a tank with EVO, but sweeper is hard to say because like yeah, it's a guarder. It's very slow. It's like even if it like bulks up a few times, special moves are just gonna take it off. So yeah, and its strengths are that it is a great physical bulk and it's a attack with access to priority in Mark Punch. I mean, yeah, at least it gives me some priority. Other because the only other priority I have is like I don't know, quick attack on Ogarpon and like Sucker Punch on Decidueye and Shadow Sneak. But yeah, Garda does give me a Mark Punch priority move. So after that, I grabbed Azelf. That's because I felt like I had a lot of points left and I have like a bunch of I had like most of my teams wrapped up at this point, so I decided to grab Azelf. I haven't used Azelf in a good while. I don't can't even remember when the last time I drafted Azelf, and this time it did the buff in the mystical power, which is like boost special like always. Azelf also gives me another speed option between Ogarpon and Kilowatt, and also gives me another rocker, a pivot. So yeah, and also it is my second Terra captain. I doubt I'm gonna be Terraing it a lot over Ogarpon, but at least it gives me an option with some bad Ogarpon matchups or where like Ogarpon gets knocked out before I can even bring it in. Something like that. But yeah, and according to ChatGPT, it's a fast special attack card setup sweeper and potential stealth structure. I mean, it has the same physical and special attack. I don't know why it's gonna say it fast special attacker only, but yeah, all the other things are pretty fine. Strength is a high speed and special attack, and versatility with the ability to terrestrialize. I mean, only thing ChatGPT can connect with terrestrialization is like about versatility. I mean, the only terras as if is gonna be is like some defensive terras or like offensive for some like if I need like a boosted flamethrower, I might go Terra Fire. If I need a boosted drain, I don't know if it gets drain in case, but Dazzling Leap, I might Terra Fairy. But yeah, that's about that. So next up, I wanted like a Ghost Immunity. Spectre is allowed, so you always good to have like a mon that is resist like neutral to Ghost type, and the one I grabbed was Dunsparce. So I love the Dunsparce, but yeah, don't have the point to get a Dunsparce, so I decided to get Dunsparce. It's not as good as Dunsparce mainly because its offenses are lacking. It doesn't have Boom Burst. It does have much better bulk with Eviolite, but there is always a chance to get knocked off. But yeah, it does get very utility or a rocker Glare. I mean, it probably won't be the best against a Spectrier. I don't know how it beats it because it will probably get Willow and Spectrier is pretty. I mean, not the bulk case, but it has some bulk that it can take on some hits, but we'll see when the time comes. And according to ChatGPT, it is a good utility and support with access to gear, stealth rock, and roost. Yep, that's mainly about it. And its strength is apparently surprisingly bulky with great utility moves. So yeah, this is just gonna be like a niche mon for some certain matchups, and I don't see bringing it a lot outside of that. And then we had like 1 point left, and I just decided to grab a waiver because some teams does have very bad removal and like sticky web will just help Ugarpon break through teams much easier. This is not like a league with that item cost, so we can run like multiple boots, but still running boots at least means it's running nothing else. So yeah, it also has spikes, first impression if I need to run, but yeah, I doubt I'm bringing it a lot that week as well, but at least it gives the opponent a reason to prep for webs. And finally, according to ChatGPT, it's a sticky web setter with utility, and its strengths are its sticky web support to slow down opposing teams and access to some niche utility moves. So yeah, that is the whole team. As you can see, we have the Ogarpon, the Garchomp, the Clefable, the Heatran, the Overquill, the Kilowatt Drill, the Decidueye, the Carter, the Azelf Downspars, and the speed ups with Ogarpon and Azelf being our Terra captains. And final verdict from ChatGPT is analyzing the strengths. So, our first strength is versatility. You, it says my team has a good mix of offensive and defensive Pokemon, allowing for flexible strategies. I mean, unless you are drafting like a hyper offense teams, all teams should have a good mix of offensive and defensive Pokemon. So yeah, I guess mine is not a hyper offense team; it's just a balanced team. Next, he says hazard control. I have multiple stealth rock setters and sticky web setters, providing excellent hazard control. Doesn't mention about spikes and T spikes, which I also have. Next, he says hazard remover, Decidueye, and potential Q-Water can use defog to remove hazards from your side, but potentially no, it can't use defog. Q-Water doesn't get defog, so I guess it doesn't know that. So next, he says status spreaders, clefable, overcool, and downspurs can spread status moves with toxic thunder wave clear. I mean, Heatran can also spread status with Wisp, but I guess good enough. And then terrestrialization options, both Agarpon and Azov can terrestrialize, adding an extra layer of unpredictable to your team. I mean, as I said, Uga doesn't give any layer of unpredictable. It's just gonna be Terra Water. Just gonna fire off those strong Ivy Cudgels, but I guess it can have some unpredictability as well. But like, yeah, what is like, I'm gonna be Terra the DC2I most of the times. Next, it says my weakness. Well, what's my weakness? Speed outside of Azov, Q-Water, and Garchomp. Your team lacks very fast Pokemon. Sticky Wave from speed ups can help mitigate this. Well, it forgot to mention Ogarpon, which is faster than Garchomp, and I don't know how much faster Pokemon it needs, because I already have like 4 months over 100 speed, and I think that's enough. So yeah, I don't think that's like a big weakness, I guess, but it thinks, I guess. Next, it says common weaknesses. I have multiple Pokemon weak to common types like Fairy. It says Garchomp and Overcool. First of all, I mean, yeah, Garchomp is weak to Fairy, Overcool is not. On the other one, I weak to Fairy is like the Garda, and I don't know why that's gonna be a big issue. But like 2 months being weak to Fairy, but Clefable and Hitran can help overcome this weakness. I mean, yeah, Hitran is like one of the best Fairy resists in the game, unless it has a ground coverage. And I don't know how Clefable can help cover this weakness. It doesn't resist Fairy. My cat can probably take a hit or two, but yeah. Next, it says defensive synergy. While I have good individual defensive Pokemon, ensured they can cover each other's weakness will be crucial. I mean that's what like defensive Pokemons are for, right? Like you cover each other's weakness. I mean, if it doesn't even specify how there's a lack of defensive synergy, but I guess I do have defensive synergy, lack of defensive synergy. And then it gives me some potential strategies for my team. First thing it says is vote turn core, using Q-Water and Decidueye for a vote turn strategy, keeping up momentum and switching into favorable matchups. I mean, Decidueye and Q-Water are not gonna be coming a lot of the games, but I guess that's the strategy for my team. Next, it says hazard stacking. I mean, yeah, I do have a lot of hazard mons, but I do wanted to get a rapid speed user to get rid of my own hazards without getting rid of all. But yeah, hazard stacking is one thing that I can do. Next, it says I have balanced offense and defenses. So apparently, I can utilize my bulky Pokemon like Clefable and Hitran to spawn cheats and support my offensive threats like Garchomp and Dazzle. So yeah, I don't know why it gives my defensive synergy as a weakness and also says I have balanced defenses. So well, guess I have both. And finally, it says status and stall. So apparently, I can spread status over time with Clefable, Overco, and Dance Parts, and then bring in my sweepers to clean them. I mean, yeah, I probably will be running Clefable with T-Wave a lot since it doesn't have any other better moves. But so yeah, so overall, he thinks my team has a lot of potential, which is versatility and strategic options, and balancing my offensive and defensive capabilities with the terrestrialization. Terrestrialization will be key. So yeah, so I guess that's gonna be it. might get a bit boring in the end, but like yeah, I didn't know how to get it presented in a better way. But yeah, that is gonna be my analysis for the team.